Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here, and I am so happy to report that we actually have some positive news, and it is coming from BlockFi today. So I hope that none of you have funds on BlockFi, but if you do, you will probably have the opportunity to withdraw your funds that are not in the interest earning account, but are just on the regular account when it comes to BlockFi. So I know when this actually happened, that when BlockFi created this separate account that is not to earn any interest, I was up in arms. I was irritated, this extra step. I have to log into BlockFi to be constantly moving my funds over. But you know what? With this, for those of you that have that account and had funds in that account, it's actually playing out quite well for you. So the U.S. bankruptcy court to allow clients to withdraw digital assets that are held in their BlockFi wallet accounts will be seeking similar relief from the Supreme Court of Bermuda with respect to BlockFi wallet accounts held at BlockFi International Ltd. This motion does not impact withdrawals or transfers from BlockFi interest accounts, which remain paused at this time. I mentioned the same situation that has played out over at Celsius. If you basically have like the pure custody account, then you're going to be able to withdraw. We don't really have a time frame on how this is going to play out, but this is good news. So hopefully, if you do have funds left on BlockFi, it's just in the regular account and not the interest earning account, because progress is definitely being made there. I anticipate when it comes to the other funds, it's probably going to potentially take years. So withdrawals are available now. I logged into my BlockFi account because I had a very small amount of funds in there. So that is the situation there. Let's go ahead and take a look here over at Twitter. So another big announcement today is that Core Scientific has filed for bankruptcy. Like I said, I don't believe it's not over when it comes to crypto companies filing for bankruptcy. Now we're seeing it bleed into the Bitcoin mining space. I don't think this will be the first company to file for bankruptcy that is a mining company. What could potentially happen? These companies start selling off assets such as Bitcoin, which may continue to drop the price. What we do know, though, is that the price of Bitcoin kind of stayed pretty stable. I think this was actually announced last night, and I looked immediately at the price, and it was staying pretty stable. It really wasn't affected much. The news didn't affect the price too much. And let's go into here. So yeah, not a ton of other news in the space. Like I said, I still think that a stable coin is going to go down before we exit this bear market. So now let's go into the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at $16,809. This right here is the weekly chart on Bitcoin. It's not really giving us too much, I would say leaning bearish, but also more of kind of in the neutral position here, not giving us a ton. So I am anticipating more blood. The sooner the better, to be honest with you. I'm hoping that within between now and the end of Q1, we kind of get that bottom to put us in the $13,000 range on a Bitcoin. Let's take a look here on the daily chart. Daily chart here, it did make a lower low. Let's see if this green 2 can trade above the green 1. The high of this candle is, this one candle is $17,000. I'm going to also anticipate Bitcoin to get rejected by a lot of pressure from this 50 DMA. So I think that we will see a more of a move to the downside. 12-hour chart looking very weak, so what we're seeing is just a lot of weakness across the board. 4-hour chart is looking okay. It has made a higher high, a bit of a pullback here. Let's see if it can make a higher high and get above the high of this candle, which is again 17,000. So we might see a little bit of a jump, maybe a few percentages, if we can get above the high, the high of 17,000. 1-hour chart looks terrible on Bitcoin. Would not be touching the 1-hour chart at all. 30-minute chart looks terrible as well. Let's take a look at that 5-minute chart, also trending downwards. Nothing looking too good across the board. We have Ethereum sitting at 1210. Core Scientific, obviously, after the news yesterday filing for bankruptcy, they had this low come in over here at 8 cents. And so the volatility of this Core Scientific chart has been wild. So this over here was the news that they were going to get a potential loan for, I believe it was, approximately $50 million. Big shot up here from, 13 cents to the high over here, which was 51 cents. And then we have this more negative news. What happened over here? Honestly, this seems, something seems fishy in this situation. What I see here is, what if that news was put out, wasn't even real, and it was utilized like almost like an insider trading situation for executives at Core Scientific to get out up here. Wouldn't be that surprised because it just all happened too quickly, right? This was the 15th, less than a week later, we have this announcement of filing for bankruptcy. So it all seems a little bit calculated in my opinion. We have gold sitting at 18.16, Coinbase stock sitting at 35.72, Litecoin sitting at 65.60. We have DOT sitting at 4.47, Link sitting at 5.91. So across the board, quite a bit of red in the cryptocurrency space. Obviously, I'm not bought back in yet. There's like nothing compelling for me to get back in. I'm not necessarily trying to time the market. I'm just looking for confirmation that if I'm entering a position, there is some room for upside, at least in the short term. So Tesla is down to 139 today. Let's see here. This candle right here was today's candle. So had a low here at 135.90, currently sitting at 139.67. We have this announcement that Elon Musk is stepping down as the CEO of Twitter. We also know that last week, I think it was Monday through Wednesday, he was selling off Tesla stocks. Then I think it was announced Thursday, so we knew that the fall in price probably had something to do with the fact that he sold $3 billion in Tesla stock. And people are speculating this week that there is also a sell-off coming from Elon Musk. So we might get that announcement, what's today, Wednesday? Maybe he's been selling Monday through Wednesday, and we get the announcement tomorrow that he's also been selling off this week. Not that surprising. Most people were speculating that he was going to continue selling off Tesla stock. Let's go and take a look here at majors. We have SPY sitting at 386.49. 1 hour chart actually looking decent here, but we're seeing some resistance over here by the 50 DMA. So I want to also share with you iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital is a way to actually buy Bitcoin now and not pay any taxes on the gains when you're 59.5. And so they actually increased the amount that you can deposit into your IRA every year by $500. That's like the biggest increase since I think like 2002, which is exciting. So you can actually trade within your iTrust Capital account, and it is a non-taxable event. If you have existing retirement accounts, you can actually transfer them over to iTrust Capital, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and head back over to the charts. So we're seeing a little bit of strength on SPY when it comes to the 1 hour chart here. Let's take a look at marijuana stocks. Actually, marijuana stocks are having an okay day, up a few percentages. The marijuana space, a lot more green than over here when it comes to crypto. So I want to take a look here at the Ethereum chart and see if there's any signs of a reversal that may be coming from Ethereum before Bitcoin. So I would say the weekly chart looks weaker on Ethereum than it does on Bitcoin. And the daily charts look very similar. Let's take a look here at the 12-hour chart looks similar. I'm anticipating all these other time frames are going to be looking very similar as well. Yeah, so a lot of similarities. Nothing looking really substantially different when it comes to Ethereum versus the Bitcoin structure of the Bitcoin charts. Let's see. Let's take a look at the 7-day chart on Coinbase. Oh, looking really weak. So, gosh, Coinbase stock is actually looking weaker than the Bitcoin chart and significantly weaker. So what I want to do is I want to go over to the Bitcoin chart. And we're going to be looking at some comparisons here between this market cycle, the previous market cycle. This is the thing, is that I think we're always trying to compare the previous market cycle because Bitcoin tends to do this thing around halvings. And so we try to use that information to make predictions moving forward. What I see different, the most different out of all of this is just the economical climate, right? It's much different. Things are really not looking good across many different sectors. People felt really rich. They were spending a lot because they were getting just a bunch of free money pumped from the government. Obviously, that has ended. So things are just changing dramatically. We're seeing a huge shift in housing, mortgage applications, how long houses have been staying on the market for. We're seeing a huge impact on used cars. The used car market is definitely shifting and changing quite a bit. So what I want to look here is back at back at the previous market cycle, and I used to talk about this a lot in my previous videos, but it has been some time since I have mentioned it. So let's go ahead and see over here. This right here was a buying opportunity, and we are going to go ahead and eliminate March of 2020 with the pandemic, because that was obviously like just something that I don't think we should put into this particular equation, which is obviously another buying opportunity when Bitcoin was down to $3,000. So the low of this candle here, 31.26, this came in on December 10th of 18. And as you can see over here, it was exactly 1 year later. And we have passed that mark when it comes to Bitcoin, because as we could see, it has been over a year since the previous all-time high. The high over here was November 5th, the week of November 5th. And obviously we are towards the end of December. So it is taking, I would say, longer for Bitcoin to bottom in this case. But you can also believe, because in my opinion, I believe there is a like 90% chance that the bottom is not in. But if you look over here, the bottom of this came in over like the week of November 19th. So if this is the bottom, then it will match up at about a year. But structurally, the way that this bottom has formed, I don't believe so. Let's go and take a look at it from the percentage perspective. Let's take the low over here versus how far it has bounced. So a 17% bounce versus, let's see what it was over here. Let's see. So from here up to there, 35%. So that's why I've been saying that the bounce we saw off the bottom isn't giving me all that confidence, that much confidence that the bottom is in. And so that's kind of what I'm particularly seeing there. So like I mentioned before, as you could see, when this green crossed over the red, that would have been an excellent time to get in. You would have been basically immediately in the profit on Bitcoin. So obviously, you have to ask yourself, you know, where you want to get in. So you could have gotten it over here, but then you're riding a little bit of a wild ride for months, versus over here, you're automatically in the profit once that green crosses over the red. So that is one thing that I am paying very close attention to when it comes to the current price of Bitcoin. And I'm waiting for that green to cross over the red. So that's all I pretty much have for you today on this video. I have some links down below. I'm also doing 30-minute calls, so if you want to ask me anything about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, life in Puerto Rico, I have a link. I'm doing like a Christmas special. I usually charge $75 for a 30-minute call. I'm only charging $30. That will not happen again. So yes, I have that link down below as well. And obviously, iTrust Capital, when you get started, you get $100 in free Bitcoin. So that is all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.